And welcome back to Mugshots Grill and Bar on Airport Boulevard. The Joey Jones Show rolling on UTV 44. 465 yards of offense, the most since November 6, 2010. That's when we had 542 in a win over Henderson State. So you set the bar, Coach. Now we just got to do 400-something yards of offense every week. That's easy, right?
That'd be good. That'd be great.
All right, so Western Kentucky at home tonight. A lot to talk about when we talk about the Hilltoppers. And let's talk about their defense first, because they gave up a ton of points to Tennessee. But it's Tennessee. I mean, you know, that's a pretty good offense they were facing. Defensively, what do they do?
Well, defensively, they're very physical. That's kind of what they've built their program on the last few years. Coach Taggart, who was there, did a good job of kind of creating a physical football team and recruiting those type players. They get after you. They have great linebackers. Their linebackers are 260 pounds, 240 pounds respectively inside. They're good up front. Got good secondary guys, and they're not a real attack team, but they're good enough where they can play technique and get to the football. And
this is a Western Kentucky team, as you're seeing right here, that held Kentucky in check in week 1. So these boys know how to play.
They do. They beat Kentucky, and I promise you, if they would have the turnovers against Tennessee, I'm not so sure they wouldn't have beat them.
And Bobby Petrino, when have we ever mentioned Bobby Petrino in defense in the same sentence? But that's often overlooked, isn't it? I mean, he pays attention to that side of the ball.
Oh, sure he does. Great football coaches, they know you win. You're going to win with defense, and I know he's a heck of a football coach. Obviously, they know offensively what they're doing, but they're a well-rounded football team. We're going special teams as well.
So offensively, how do we keep the ball rolling?
We just got to execute. It's bottom line. I mean, we feel like we have a good game plan, and we got some things that we can attack, but we're going to have to make those plays. We're going to have to score some points today to have a chance to win, and our offense knows that, and it's all about execution. It's not that we got to do anything extra, and we don't have to run a bunch of trick plays. We just got to execute our offense.
Well, I guess that answers the next question. Did we do anything differently against Tulane, or was it just a confidence thing, and we finally did what we were supposed to do?
I think the biggest thing we did against Tulane was we pushed the ball downfield more. We had more explosive plays, and when you have that, you got a chance.
And that confidence, that's half the battle offensively, is to, if you're throwing the ball in there hoping that it's going to thread the needle. Big difference between that and throwing the ball.
That's right. And we're better at quarterback than we were last year. Last year, we've talked about it. I think our quarterback position last year, we were average at best. Let's be honest. This year, I think we've got 2 guys that can win for us. Ross came out, got hot last week, played great, and those 2 guys can run the offense for sure.
And we've got weapons at wide receiver, and we've got deep weapons. Same thing in the backfield. A lot of guys to choose from this year. That's a different ball game.
It makes a big difference. When you're running a route and you're 1 yard ahead of somebody and he's open, you can hit him, but they're running stride for stride with somebody. It's kind of hard to hit them. So that one step makes a difference, and so we do have better players, and it's starting to show up.
Well, speaking of depth, we're going to talk to a guy that only has 3 carries so far, but a guy that can contribute when he's called on. We're going to learn more about our running back, Julian Valentin. That's coming up right now in our player profile.
My role right now necessarily is just to get in the game and play, and do everything that I need to do on my part to help the team, whether it's blocking, running the ball, catching the ball out of the backfield, doing my assignments correctly. Higher talent level, we're more disciplined. We follow assignments. We pay attention to the details. Now this year, from what I see sitting back and paying attention, I feel like we're a good team. We're a team to reckon with this year. It all started off with my high school friend, teammate, Scott Garber. And I just wanted something new. It wasn't working out for me in West Virginia. I've always wanted to play Division I ball. I talked to Scott Garber, and he convinced me to make that move here, and I just came. It's actually great. I like having a big family. It teaches you how to live with other people. It teaches you unity, how to come together. It teaches you, just a lot of things. You feel you always have that support being with a lot of brothers and sisters. You get into a lot of fights at the same time too, but that's just part of life. That just teaches you how to be a man.